Hey, what's up guys? RJ here, back with yet another video. So in this video I want to take a look at a program called SageTV. It's been around for a long time. I've been using it for at least 6 years, maybe more. But several years ago they were bought out by Google. Up until recently, Google released it to the community as open source. So currently I'm on version 7 and it's been working pretty good. The program itself is quite stable. Now, just what we're going to be talking about in this video is the intermediator between my tuners, my cable TV tuners, and SageTV. Now, currently I have my TVs through Verizon. I've got it split across 3 TV tuners, 2 WinTV 2250s, I believe. It's been a while, so don't quote me, I'm not sure. And then 1 Ceton Infinity 4. So between those 3 tuners, I have 8 signal capacity. I can record up to 8 TV shows at the same time. Now, so the cable comes into the house, goes split off to the 3 mentioned tuners, and then the intermediator, the DCT, allows the SageTV to record the provided signals from the cable cards through the intermediator, the DCT, to SageTV. So currently I'm using a program called SageDCT. However, it's not being developed anymore, and it's pretty stable. It's worked quite well over the years. It's got a few quirks, but there is a new option available now called OpenDCT, and it's in current development. It's being worked on, and from what I'm reading, is going to be offering more features in the future. So what we're going to look at is how to convert your SageDCT setup to the new OpenDCT. So again, cable card, network cable card to the intermediator, which currently in my case is SageDCT. We're going to look at how to switch that over to OpenDCT, which allows SageTV to do all of its work. All right, hopefully that goes a lot easier than it sounds. So let's get right to it. Let's go to the computer. Okay guys, let's see if we can get through this pretty quickly. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be following the user Daweeze's reference instructions that can be found on the SageTV Forum. As you can see, he did a fantastic job laying out exactly what he did. And we'll follow these almost exactly. Almost. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and download OpenDCT. And you can find that on the SageTV.com forums. Just go to hardware support forum and select the OpenDCT thread. Now I installed the 0.5.20 release candidate. So you can either select it or the current stable version. Now, depending on what version of Java you have installed will determine what version of the OpenDCT you're going to download. Now, in my particular case, my machine has both the 32-bit version and the 64-bit version of Java. So I installed the 64-bit version. So go ahead and select either the 64 or 32-bit version, download it. Easiest thing probably to do is just download it to your desktop. Once that's downloaded, we're going to go ahead and stop the SageDCT service and the SageTV service. So easiest way to do that is to go to your Windows menu button thingy. Oh, I'm using Windows 7 64-bit. So it may differ if you're using Windows 10. and right click on computer and go to manage. I believe if you're using Windows 10, you can just right click on the Windows flag and select device manager, or services rather. So once we're there, we're going to click on the services and application, and then the services tab. Select anywhere in here and then hit S on the keyboard. You'll go right to the SageDCT service. So double click on it. Again, I've already done this, so you're going to stop the service and then disable it. Hit apply and then OK. You're going to do the same thing for the SageTV service. Double click, stop, and select either disable or manual. Once you've done that, hit apply and then OK. So now we have the SageDCT service stopped and disabled, and we also have the SageTV service stopped and either disabled or set to manual. So now what we can do is make a backup copy of our SageTV folder. Now Daweeze recommends backing up the Sage property and Wiz.bin files, but I backed up the entire folder. So what you'll do is want to select Windows key E on the keyboard, your local disk drive, the 32-bit program files, scroll down to SageTV, right click on it, select copy, and then just go to your desktop and then select paste. Now, if your install is anything like mine, it's going to take a while. I have a lot of plugins, and my folder is like 1.7 gigs, something ridiculous. So copy that over. Once that's done, we're going to be opening up, or I'm sorry, we're going to be installing the OpenDCT service. So again, I've already done this, so I'm not going to do it again, but just follow the instructions, double click on it, yada yada yada, install it. Once that's done, you're going to need to run the command OpenDCT Run as console, and you can find that in all programs under OpenDCT folder, and that's the one you're going to run right there. Once that is completed, now Daweeze, he has instructions to Control C the OpenDCT following the download of the channel lineups. I didn't do that. So all I did after that point was reboot the computer. So to recap, before we reboot, we've got the SageDCT service and the SageTV service disabled and off. So go ahead and reboot, come back. So we need to go ahead into the find the properties, Sage property file. So you can select Windows key E again, double click on your main drive, select the 32-bit version of Windows file if you're running a 32-bit machine, otherwise it'll just be program files. Find the SageTV folder, double click on the next nested SageTV folder, and open up the Sage.properties file. So I've already done this, so I'm not going to do this again, but I will go through it on my backup. So let's go ahead and Sage property. Now I use a program called Notepad++, and it works very well. So I don't know if you want to use that or not, but that's what I'm using here. So the next thing I did was you need to go ahead and do a search for this network encoder discovery, and currently it's going to be false, but you need to change it to true. Alright, so once that's done, go ahead and save it. And then you're going to start the SageTV service. Of course, mine's already running. So, and on the first startup on the SageTV service, that goes pretty quick. And make sure you change it back to automatic. So when you hit start, make sure you select automatic and hit apply and then OK. Once that's done, you can go ahead and start the SageTV program. Now, on the initial startup of the program, after all this, it's going to take a while. I don't know what exactly is going on, but it takes quite a bit of time to restart. Of course, when I've already done it, so it doesn't take much time, but it will take significantly longer to start. Don't worry, just let it do its thing. It will eventually restart. So from here, we need to go and set up the sources. So go to Setup, go to Setup Video Sources, select Add New Sources, and what you'll find is some entries. Now, of course, again, I've already done this, so you'll see the entries for DCT, which are going to be different than the entries for SageDCT. Just ignore the entries for SageDCT at this point. We'll get rid of those in a later step. So select a tuner, a DCT tuner. In my case, I'll just select this one. You're gonna click on it, excuse me, and it's gonna turn red just like that. Just wait it out. The first time that you do this, again, it's gonna take a while. So just kind of sit tight and wait till you see that continue come up. Once that comes up, click it again. And at this point, it's going to go ahead through its system startup for determining the broadcast standard. Takes about 30 to 60 seconds, maybe a hair longer on the first time. Tick tock, tick tock. Okay, so once we're at this point, we can go ahead and click on that again. And you want to select Use or copy an existing channel lineup for this service. And in my case, it's Baltimore. And the reason why I have two channel lineups here is because the clear over-the-air tuners, the 25/7, the Win TV tuners, use a different lineup, so that's why I have two. So select whatever lineup you were using with your SageDCT service. So in my case, it's the Baltimore, and in my case, I'm going to use the same lineup. I'm not going to copy and create a separate configurable lineup. I'm going to use the same channel lineup again. And that's it. You do that for each DCT entry you have. Once that's done, you're going to finish the source setup and then close SageTV. Once that's closed, you're going to go back to the SageTV service. You're going to right click and you're going to hit stop. Okay, so once that's stopped, we're going to go back into the Sage property file. And let's go ahead and do that. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go back into the Sage property file. So easiest way to do that again is Windows key E, navigate to the programs file, SageTV again, and Sage property folder. Now I've already done this, so we're going to go to my backup. Let's go ahead and open this up. And so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find all of the SageDCT entry points. So select SageDCT, so hit Control C on your keyboard and then hit Control F on your keyboard. And we're going to go ahead and hunt down all the entries for SageDCT. Now, you'll see that these SageDCT, the RDP, you may or may not have these if you use a plugin called Easy Tuner Naming or something like that. Can't remember specifically the name of it, but if you have that, you can go ahead and remove these out. So just simply select all of the RDP entries that have SageDCT in them and just hit the delete key twice on your keyboard. And let's go to the next. So this is the channel scan for the SageDCT. So just go ahead and select it and delete. Now, these are seeker classes for the SageDCT, so we'll go ahead and get rid of those. And we'll hit find again. Okay, so that brings us to the encoder entries. So you'll notice that they all start with MMC /encoders / and then a number. This number is going to be different than your number. So let's scroll up here and look for all the entries of 53 and where they stop. So where you see available channels is the first entry point, and then where you see video processor is the last entry point. So we'll scroll up. That's tuner 4, that's tuner 3, tuner 2, and tuner 1. So we'll follow the 50 all the way up, and it should end up at the channel. Here we go, 50 available channels. So we'll click right here on available channels for my first tuner, which is tuner 1 under the SageDCT entry point, and we're just going to scroll all the way down. Now in my case I have 4 tuners, and you want to just make sure that they all relate to SageDCT. Okay, so now here's tuner 4, and we need to find, there we go, video processor. If you don't remember which it is, just follow the number down until it ends. Hit the select key on the keyboard and then click right there. So now we have copied all 4 tuner entries from SageTV. I'm sorry, from SageDCT. So we can just go ahead and at this point just hit the delete key on the keyboard twice, and that part is done. So, and with that, all the entries for SageDCT have been removed. So what we want to do is go ahead and close, or save rather, save, and then you can go ahead and close these. So after that's done, the next thing that we want to do is go ahead and start the service back up. So right click and then select start. Now I don't know if I mentioned this before, but for the SageDCT, or I'm sorry, the SageTV OpenDCT, I use the login, the administrator user login for that. If I didn't mention it, well, there you go. I use that for both OpenDCT and for SageTV services. Okay, so now that that is all done, we can go ahead and reopen SageTV again. And of course, on initialization, it takes quite a while after the service has been shut down. But in this case, because it wasn't shut down, it should initialize pretty quickly. All right, and all you want to do is you want to go into setup, go into setup video sources, and you want to make sure under add that your old SageDCT entries are gone. With that, if you have rename plugin installed, we can go ahead and do that. Go to detail setup, go to customize, and go scroll all the way down. Oops. You want to do that. Scroll all the way down until you find encoder names. So select that, configure, and then you can go ahead and configure a friendly name for your new OpenDCT entries. All right, and that is it, guys. Let's go ahead and check it out and see if it actually works. And again, I've already done this, so unless I screwed something up going through this, we should be good to go. So we'll go to program guide, and I'll just select the tuner that I know is on that Infinity card. Looks like it might be an encrypted channel. Of course, oh, no it isn't. All right, so there we go, guys. OpenDCT is now transferring the data from the cards, tuner cards, to SageTV. And the reason why it's all sketchy and weird looking is because I'm running through an RDP to the TV machine. All right, so there you have it. So overall, not too hard. I think if you follow each step pretty closely, I think you'll end up with the same results I did. Success. I'm very pleased at how well OpenDCT works. I'm able to record 8 signals simultaneously without any problems with system resources. Now, OpenDCT in my case is only handling 4 of those signals, but it's working very well. It's sharing the resources well, not bumping into other programs, and just plain works. So I'm really looking forward to the continuing development of DCT. I hope that it is going to provide a more stable, more future-proof solution over SageDCT. And while SageDCT worked quite well, my hope is that OpenDCT will work even better and offer more future enhancements. All right, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. So until next time, guys, take care. Hey, what's up, guys? RJ here. Bass background. So internet provider or cable car